Hey guys, been a minute. Normally, I'll be talking about things other than, I don't know, big swathes and cultural movements, but this is important. And it's important enough for me that I'm having to talk about it before really having my full thoughts together, especially considering the subject that it deserves. But the first thing that needs to be known is Jordan Peterson has been one of the most influential persons of my life. Now, a lot of people give him credit for that because it's, you helped me get my act together, you helped me clean my room, you helped me understand things were my fault, and to a certain degree he did, but it, he he did a lot harsher things than that. He he forced me to be brave when I didn't want to be, to a group that I was trying to be accepted by. When I encountered Jordan, I was a poet, a spoken word poet. Not very successful, but I was engaged in the community. And where I live is a small community. And I was fully in, left, right, like SJW, every single step of the way. I've seen it so deeply, and because of, my personality type, if you want to say it, or because of the way that I was raised, or just because who I am a deeply, deeply emotive person. And so if somebody is asking for their sympathy, I'm giving it. That's it. I'm kind, and I want to stand up for things, and I believe in sort of the heroic ideal, and I always have. And that is very easily abused, especially by left of center politics, because everybody is infinitely groupable, and provided you can abstract yourself enough from the enemy, you can be as angry as you want. Now, I had all my uncomfortabilities with it, but it was Jordan and his ability to communicate across his idea to somebody who had the opposite thinking in a way that they could recognize, in a way that they could actually encounter. That was amazing. Everybody talks about the suspender videos, and I mean, they're the reason Jordan has been given the attention. His ideas are fantastic. He's a very good communicator, but it was his unfailing ability to treat the person opposite as human. Like, only when he got to the GQ interview did he really end up having real bite and getting really tired from oppositional dialectics. And I mean, God bless him. I'd crack at the first fire alarm. But Jordan didn't change me. I don't think he changed anyone. He showed people a greater clarity of the truth that they believed in. That was the most fundamental part. It wasn't that I stopped becoming an SJW because I suddenly liked white people more than black people. No, it was because I realized that I was elevating myself and giving myself a self-assured superiority because I was holding someone else because of their race special and distinct and separate from them. That doesn't mean that I couldn't appreciate their different stories and struggles. That doesn't mean I don't now. That doesn't mean I don't see a richness in someone who has a completely different life experience. That doesn't make my empathy for someone going through something like gender dysphoria any less tragic or any less sympathetic. And fuck, man, like, it's a hard game. I don't begrudge anybody coming to conclusions that I can disagree with because they need to feel better. Feel better, man. Go for it. But that don't make it true. That don't make it actually the thing that's going to help you the most. That doesn't mean it's going to be a permanent and lasting change. And I always knew that there was a depth to the world that was more sacred, and Jordan showed that. Like, Jordan has not said anything new, ever. Like, it's Jung, it's Campbell, it's Mircea Eliade, it's Disney, for crying out loud. Like, he is somebody who is trying to show something. Then that means something more than just present ideas. And it wasn't a quick change either. It was really hard, and it was really wrestling, and it did push me into different worlds, into different circles, and I was hearing right-wing views, and I was hearing racist views. I was hearing so many different things, and I thank God every day that I found Paul van der Clay. And eventually this journey that Jordan set me on is the reason I'm a Christian. And it's not because of him that I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian because I am fully in. Completely, totally. There isn't an argument that can get me out. Because every second of my being for my entire life wanted this. There's no other way to describe it. It gathered everything. It gathered everyone I loved, everyone I love about them, and it brought him. And it's a glorious, it is wonderful. And Peugeot talks about this. Jordan is a bridge between the secular and the religious. And to be honest, he's a border between the secular and the divine. Like, it's not about the religious dogmatizing that these atheists were going on about. It was showing the presence of God in the world, the presence of God in the self. And I do see that he is also unable to cross that bridge because he is that bridge. He is the bridge. If he thinks he is, and he's putting him there, and I can only say for his health, I really wish he didn't, because I don't think he's there for any other reason than he cares a lot about people and what they think and what they can do to make themselves better. Like he said it himself, he wanted to be the Prime Minister of Canada. And then he realized that's not the best way to positively impact people's lives. How do you laugh at someone for being there? How do you think that there's like 4 people in the world that I look on the internet that I think there's so many people in my real life that I know that are above that, that I think above that, but they're in my real life. They're not online. It's completely different. But Jordan is unknowingly or knowingly dying on a bridge so that other people can cross. And when I see Christians on Twitter, and yes, Orthodox Christians, I am sickened. When I see people talk about this, I care about my race shit. Look, fair. I think you can have these ideas, you can have these politics, you can have these things, but if it's your personality, something's wrong with you. If it's the first thing that comes out of your mouth, if it's what you want people to know you by, if it's how you want to affect the world, kick rocks. Kick rocks. That's not care. That's idolatry. Pure and simple. Like everybody calling him a Zionist and a sellout for the Jews and everything. And I just, if you're a Christian, you should deal with the Jews the way Christ did. This hate mongering, every level of myself despises it. Every level of myself. Like you can, as very, very recently I'm learning to be offended as a Christian. This offends me as an SJW. This offends me as a Republican. This offends me as a Libertarian. This offends me as a mainstream Labour. This offends me as a Greens voter, and the Australians will get that. This offends me as a man. This offends me as a boy. This offends me as a poet. This offends me as a dad. Jordan genuinely wants to enrich people's lives. And I think, especially now, he has put himself into a position where he can no longer be that bridge. He can no longer be that, he can no longer be the mouthpiece for so many people because we've crossed the bridge. I'm no longer in the secular world. And there is an arrogance in him staying there. Like it's the same as a rock star who doesn't change. Like, and in effect, this is the tragedy of the archetype. Like, they aren't a person in as much as they are an archetype. And a person is a hypostasis. It is a underlying, ever-changing, subterranean universe. Peugeot always talks about this. The world is anthropocosmic. We are a cosmos. And so my criticism for Jordan is you have shown Sophia through Nicaea. But now you are denying Sophia and denying Nicaea. And it is because God doesn't have a victory over you yet. He doesn't need to. You can be defeated another way. But You were defeated by your ideas. That's how you were so good at carrying them. You were blown away. You were holding them up. That's why that they were so moving. Right now, you're holding these down. And it's not because of things like this. Because at the end of the day, you're doing what everyone else is doing on the internet. You're needing to do it. But that is where the issue stands for so many of us who have crossed your bridge. And there isn't a part of me that can't say thank you. I am so sorry so many people see the opposite of what I see in you. I'm ashamed I haven't done enough to help bring you back over the bridge that you laid for us. Because that's the person that you wanted me to be. Our lack of our best hurts everyone.